Thanks for coming, guys. Obviously, still a little bit disappointed from the Colorado. Not a little bit, really disappointed from the game, the showdown. I thought our guys were ready to play. I thought we played with great effort. And the bottom line came down to the turnover ratio. You turn the ball over 4 times and don't get any turnovers. It's hard to beat a good football team. I was proud that 3 turnovers were still 38-31 right there. Got a chance to make it a ball game in the fourth quarter, but the last turnover kind of sealed the deal. But the effort was there. The guys played extremely hard. Just opportunity to make some plays defensively we didn't make, and then offensively protecting the football. Interested to get with the team today. We had to do 2 days off. Been talking to a lot of the guys. Feel like we're in great spirits. Feel like they're ready to go to work this week. Obviously everybody would love to go back and play the game over, but you don't have a do-over. It's bottom line, and it's business. The game's over. We lost. We got to move on, and I'm looking forward to seeing our guys move on against Western Illinois that's got a ton of tradition. For Division II, and now moved into the FCS a few years back. Tough, hard-nosed guys that come from a conference, a team we played last year, Illinois State. They came in here and physically beat us. That's going to be the mindset that we've got an opponent. We got to go out and get ready, get ourselves ready to go out for a test at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Questions?
Mike, any regrets about your post-game comments, or you still stand by it?
About neutral officials? You say you don't make excuses, and I didn't like myself saying that when that's what we say to the team. You got to be able to overcome things, and not making an excuse. I do think that game's too important not to have neutral refs, but whining about calls, I shouldn't be doing that.
How did you feel about the play of your offensive line, especially with Nuri making his first?
Well, I thought the offensive line did an excellent job. We've got a lot of new guys in there, especially a true freshman that's only played football 2.5 years. They protected the quarterback extremely well. We gave up 2 sacks by the statistics. One was Collis stepped out of bounds, and the other, when we missed the protection, it was a sack fumble for a touchdown. But other than that, there really wasn't any pressure. You got hit a couple times, but that's gonna happen in the run game. I thought we got a hat on a hat. There were some runs there that were there, and I didn't think we got more than what they blocked for. We got to be able to do that at running back. We can't get the league minimum. When we block for 6, we got to get 10. That's something we're going to challenge our backs with is yards after contact this week. We didn't do a great job of that because I thought we put a hat on a hat, and that's where your back's got to make some things happen. But overall, I thought they did a good job with what we asked them to do in the game, and we still got to be smart about what we asked them to do to put themselves in good situations.
You mentioned the defense, maybe some missed opportunities. How do you kind of create, a ball hockey type of defense?
Well, today we've got practice, and we're going. We've been stressing turnovers and creating turnovers, but we're going to do it again. Have two circuits of, creating turnovers and things that you do drill wise. We're going to do in a scout period that, there's got to be at least 3 turnovers in the scout period. So guys are going to be more conscious of trying to strip the ball and get to the ball. I mean, it's getting guys to the ball carriers. I did see us get to the ball carriers and make stripped attempts at guys. One time I remember right on our sideline, Bombeck made one, and the ball got loose, but he held on to it. So it's just getting guys around the ball. And then when the opportunity comes to make a play in the secondary, you got to make it. Those are far and few between. I mean, you got to give number 2 credit for Colorado. The play he made in the back of the end zone, 6 inches from Warren's hand. And, I like the confidence of our quarterback thinking he can make that throw. It was a tough throw, and it was 6 inches off, and that safety made an unbelievable play on it. And the other one to Warren on the sideline was 6 inches too low, and it ricocheted. And number 2 is just running to the ball. That's how you make interceptions and make plays, is run to the ball. And he's running the ball, and he got the rebound. So talking more about running to the ball and getting people around the ball, that's when turnovers happen. But, we're going to work on it. We're going to not just talk about it. We're going to work on it. Then offensively, we got to be smart to throw the ball away. And, if I'm going to call a shot right there at the plus 20, which, if I look back on it, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I'd have hammered the ball, but I didn't. I caught a shot, and it wasn't there. We got to, be smart enough to throw it away. But I play quarterback. You got a shot, you want to take it, and I like the confidence that he had to make the throw. Just, we didn't complete it.
I mean, talking of Colin, pretty sharp all game. Obviously, the interceptions, I'm sure, are nagging at him, but kind of what you see.
No, I kept telling him the whole game, you look good, you're moving good, you're making the right decisions. I mean, it was very impressive. A couple times getting to our third progression out of the backfield, our backs, even a Z-fly motion. We're trying to hit a deep ball, and he checked it right down to E.J. Scott that got us some positive yards. On a 3rd and 10, he checked it down to the back, and Marvin made the guy miss and got the first down. So those are good things. Sometimes you think on 3rd and 10, I got to throw it past the sticks, but you got to go through your progression and get it to where the ball needs to go. And I thought he did that. The 2 picks, one, just an unlucky bounce. The guy, hustling and made a play. I know he wished he had it over to maybe throw it a little higher to Warren, but and then the last one I thought maybe we could have thrown away, but those things happen. You throw the ball 37 times, there's going to be some tip balls and stuff that end up in other people's hands, and hopefully they don't catch them and they drop them and you get a little lucky, but, we didn't. And then I got to help as a play caller to not put ourselves in position where, we've got a chance to get points to turn the ball over. But I don't want to stop being aggressive. I thought we were aggressive all game. So there's a fine line there. There's a fine line of being aggressive and trying to keep the pedal down on who we were playing last week and, do the stuff that we were doing. And then, not, turning the ball over. That's where we got to be smart with it sometimes.
What does Dante Wright's performance kind of do for your offensive game planning moving forward? Will you keep prioritizing getting him?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk a lot about Dante. Y'all don't get to stay for a lot of practices, but Dante has been productive in every practice. He's been a special player. When his number's called, he's made the plays. So going into the game, I had a Dante Wright section, and it was the biggest section on the sheet. So we had a plan to get him the ball.
Going back to your home opener, what do you see out of WIU, and what is your team specifically focusing on this week?
Well, we're going to focus on getting better and correcting the things that we made mistakes in the game on. Obviously, turnovers, trying to do things that will help us prevent from turning the ball over, creating more turnovers defensively, doing our assignments, getting in our gaps defensively. We had a couple runs where we got out of our gaps. And then, finding out what we feel we got a pretty good identity of who we are, and then matching that up with what goes against Western Illinois, offense and defensively. The good thing about them offensively, they run some 12 personnel, which we run, which is 2 tight ends. So we'll be able to go some good on good work. But at the end of the day, it's getting ourselves ready to play and go out there and doing our job and learn and finish a ball game. We got to finish ball games because that's how you win ball games.
You mentioned last year, like when Southern came in, like you felt they were a more physical team. That was one thing you stressed in the offseason. Looking at the CU tape, do you feel like you're the physical team?
Yeah, I felt like we played hard. We played physical. There wasn't anything on our heels. I thought we were aggressive on both sides of the ball. Special teams, I thought we were aggressive there. It was unfortunate we had a penalty, right there before half. That's a momentum play that got us down to the 9 or 10, and I think there was some, 12 seconds on the clock. You'd had a shot for the end zone, but hopefully 3 points. Instead of fair catching and, taking a knee there. I thought we were aggressive. I thought we were played, to win the game. We just didn't make enough plays to win it. But I do think our physicality was there. I thought some toughness was there. I think, our guys are more confident because they feel like they're stronger in the work that they've done. Now, last year against Southern, it was in the same conference, we got whipped physically. And, we went to work on that this offseason to change that where that would never happen again. We got beat by CU last Friday. We didn't get physically beat by them. We just got beat because they made the plays, and you got to give them credit.
So with that in mind, obviously you played way better against CU this year than last year. Do you feel like there were enough positives that leave you in the locker room confident that you'll win more games this year?
Yeah, I'm confident about where our team is at mentally. There's always disappointment, and the thing that there was tears in the locker room. Been a long time since I've seen tears of, that means they paid a price. And I feel like talking to the guys over the weekend that we're in a good place. We got to go out and we got to play this week. Is it going to determine how many games we're going to win this season? I think our focus needs to be like we've been focusing in January, getting better each day. And that was some comments from our players. Is that we got to have the same energy and work ethic that we've had every day leading up to this point. Nothing should change. Now those are words, so we got to see the actions happen, and that'll start today.
Mike, how much of a difference
Yeah, he could have, Marcus is, the thing about Marcus, we had some runs on the perimeter that bounced out, not wide perimeter, but outside the tight end, and that's where he's pretty, effective, because he's got good speed and he's got good power. Marcus, that's what I'm talking about, Marcus. Yeah, when he does better sometimes outside, not on the perimeter, but outside the tight end, and we had some runs for that. And, Marcus, it was disappointing that the injury happened, and he just, he couldn't get healthy. Now, he probably could have played, but he's probably about 95%, and he didn't practice, the thing is, you got to be able to practice. He was able to go through the walkthrough, and he was able to do Friday a little bit, but he did with the twos that went on air, and we just feel like he couldn't open up as much as possible. But I mean, he didn't play. That's going to happen. You're going to have injuries and guys not play, and he was out. And I thought we, did some good things at running back. Obviously, the turnover is not good, but there were some explosive plays, by the running back. A lot of them out of the backfield that Marvin made. But Marcus is healthy this week, so we'll see some Marcus McElroy. See some of the freshmen, Christian Hunter. He got his feet wet and got 5 plays, I think. So, I'm excited about that backfield. They're young, inexperienced, and toting the rock, except for Marcus and Marvin. So we'll see.
Did you like what you saw to Jalen Thomas with kind of doing
Yeah, I did. Jalen he's a hard-nosed runner that's going to hit it up in there and get positive yards. So he could have kept his feet a couple times, but that's here's a freshman again playing, out there and to play in a big environment like that. I didn't think he, as Mark Rick used to say, cheese up. I thought he was fine and into the moment. The moment wasn't too big for him. So that was a positive for us there.
Mike, with so many true freshmen, really, that you're kind of thrown into the fire a little bit this year, what can you do to speed up the maturation process?
Well, I mean, it's getting them ready to play and do what they can do. I think a great example of that is Dante Wright. Here's a true freshman that Brennan Fulton is going to be our slot receiver, and he gets hurt, and Coach Cox did a great job of getting Dante ready to play, and you got to credit the young man getting ready to play. And then what we did schematically, where it wasn't too difficult to get him the ball, and he didn't have to think and get it in his hands. So, I think that's coaching. I think if you got young athletes that can play, you got to put themselves in position to play. Nuri, true freshman left guard, did things to help him in protection. He was a little anxious early on, or probably over aggressive is the word, and where I think he calmed down as the game went on. That's you're going to have freshmen play on every team, and you got to get them ready to play. I mean, the positive for us offensively was we didn't have one lost yardage run. We had the sack but he stepped out of bounds, but it was not like we were turning guys free and having lost yardage plays like we were last year. We were tied together, and that gave us success to be successful on first and second down and get to third manageable, which, until the game was kind of, there at the end. I mean, we were doing a great job on first and second and converting third downs. Defensively, there's not as many freshmen playing. You got some young guys playing. We just, we blew some things in the secondary, and then, didn't get in the right gaps a couple times that allowed some runs that we got to get corrected. And you got to get them corrected because people copy. Where they sit there and they see things that hurt people, then you're going to see them again. So today's big on corrections and getting ourselves right.
Do you feel like defensively you're still at the chalkboard a little bit, or did you see enough that allows you to feel that there's progression still being made?
No, I felt, obviously you look at the scoreboard, you see, 52 points, but you got to look at the flip side of that. There were 4 turnovers offensively. One was for a touchdown, and put ourselves in some bad situations defensively. I thought there were a lot of good things with effort, controlling Chenault except for the one big play where we blew a coverage. And then some of the runs, we didn't do our assignment of getting in our gap, and that happens. When you don't get in your gap, you get divided defensively. But I think they're correctable things. I think we're in a good place. You'd like to have those things, do it right. The first game day, which we didn't. But they didn't do some right things either on their side of the ball, offensive and defensively. At the end of the day, we turned it over 4 times and they protected the ball. I mean, you're not going to be perfect in any game. It comes down to those turnovers. I'm telling you, you turn over 4 times, you're not going to win.